Is there any support for Earths and other, an Earth equivalent in other universes?
So, as a statistical argument, there's only so many ways you can arrange matter. Believe it or not, you can calculate in our observable universe, there's only so many possible states it could entail. And it's a very large number, but it's a finite number. And so given the way the multiverse works, it gives a large enough sample size that presumably that would replicate somewhere. Now, I actually kind of prefer to restrict that question just to our observable universe, because or actually even to our galaxy, because that's where we can be out looking for planets like Earth. And so what I would say is this, is there's kind of two ways of looking at that. One is that where you have the right physical conditions, life arises. And so can we find find a place where a planet roughly the size of Earth is the right distance from a star, and just kind of, put all these conditions in place. And it leads to the notion that where everything comes together, then a life arises. I actually would take a little bit different perspective on that. And that perspective is that given the I won't say difficulty, given the complexity and all that life requires, unless God makes it happen, it won't happen. So it's not like Earth just got the jackpot because all the conditions aligned in its development. It's that God orchestrated things so that it would happen here. And I think one of the fascinating scientific endeavors that I hope we're able to engage over the next 30, 40 years is where we can go out and say, all right, hey, this planet looks 10% like Earth. Does it have any life on it? This planet looks 50% like Earth. Does it have any life on it? This planet looks 90% like Earth. Does it have any life on it? This planet looks 99.99% like Earth. Does it have any life on it? Because that will help us discern what it takes for life to be there, or at least what's the distribution of life out there. Because there's this idea that there's kind of this minimalist model where if you just get the right conditions, then life arises. I actually take I don't know what the opposite of a minimalist model is, but it's let's say a complex model where unless God intervenes, there's not going to be life there. And so that now is a fascinating scientific question to explore, but it's also a fascinating theological question to explore. And so to answer your question, even within our galaxy and in our observable universe, there are going to be lots of planets. In our galaxy alone, there are 400 billion planets Earth size or larger. Many of those are going to resemble Earth in remarkable ways. The processes that develop planets are pretty universal. So we're going to find planets that are the right distance from their host star. We're going to find planets that are around the right kind of star. We're going to find planets that have other bodies like that. Thus far, we've not found anything that really looks like our solar system. But I expect we're going to find stuff that looks increasingly like Earth. The fascinating question will then become, is it possible for us to detect whether there's life there or not? And if so, do we find any life? Because that will help us answer that deeper question of, are we created or are we just the process or the outcome of random processes or mindless processes? I'll say it that way.